Hello everybody and welcome to a brand new Zoo Tycoon Let's Play scenario video. Today it is the first of the advanced Marine Mania scenarios, and this one's called Marine Conservation. Gonna be honest, I don't know anything about this scenario. I have beaten it, but it was probably many years ago. But anyway, it says that a wealthy individual wants to open a small aquatic park on one of her small islands in the Bahamas. The goal is to provide a haven for the abandoned aquatic animals and create a successful park whose revenues will be used for aquatic conservation. Care for the 4 initial animals on the map, and more animals will become available to you. Then turn this into a thriving marine park. So we have 24 months to get an exhibit suitability rating of at least 90 for 10 exhibits. That sounds simple enough. Animal happiness of 90, simple enough. Guest happiness of 90, that could be an issue. Zoo value of 200,000, that shouldn't be difficult, and a zoo rating of 80, that is easy. So the map itself is actually very small, considering we need 10 exhibits, and it's also very hilly. Now there is a sort of trick/exploit you can do, which is if you build a marine exhibit tank on an incline, like a hill, whereas normally like a Zoo Tycoon or a Dinosaur Digs exhibit, you obviously just get a hilly exhibit. With Marine Mania, you basically flatten the land, so you can sort of create a fake exhibit that's, you know, whatever shape you like, and then it will level all the terrain to a certain level, and then you delete the exhibit, but you keep the flat terrain. It's a sort of cheaper way of flattening terrain than just trying to flatten it normally. In this scenario, we cannot adopt any animals at the moment. We can build Zoo Tycoon and we can build Marine Mania stuff. But yeah, like I say, I don't know anything about this scenario. We currently don't have any animals, so presumably they're going to be given to us soon. Zoo rating 54. We actually have a guest happiness of 71, even though we've got no guests in the actual zoo itself. We do have a bit of scenery and pathing, but as always, we're probably just going to destroy everything. Gives us an additional $21,292, giving us a grand starting total of $71,292. And right, let's unpause the game. And there you go. Straight away we've been given a harbour porpoise, a lion's mane jelly, a manta ray, and a Pacific octopus. So basically, we need to build a suitable exhibit for those 4 animals, and then build 6 more exhibits, and we've got 2 years to do it. And we also need a zoo value of 200,000, guest happiness of 90, zoo rating of 80, animal happiness of 90. The last 2 being pretty straightforward. So really, the main issue that I see is the fact that the terrain is kind of very restrictive, and also the fact that the map itself is not very big. Other than that, this doesn't look like it's going to be that difficult, but we'll see. So let us keep the game paused for now, just while I'm doing sort of initial preparation, I suppose. Move these animals actually out of the way, just so I can sort of see what I'm doing better. Where is the 4th animal? It's there. For some reason, the lion's mane jellyfish is in an absolutely tiny, I don't know what you would call that. Cage, crate, tank, whatever it is. It's absolutely tiny for some reason. Right. So we don't actually have to flatten the terrain if we don't want to, because as we've seen from like Mountain Zoo, guests seem perfectly happy and okay, even if the terrain itself is, you know, a bit shall we say, suboptimal, less than ideal. Right, now, as always, I'll be consulting the guide just to simply make sure I don't build these exhibits to be too small or too big. It's not cheating, because obviously I could just memorise the guide and then, you know, not have to use it. But given that that would require learning about 100 different animal species, it's a lot easier to just use this guide. And also I've got to memorise the depths of the tank as well. Right. The Pacific octopus, or the giant Pacific octopus, requires an exhibit that is 48 squares large and 8 tiles deep. The deepness isn't so much of a problem because I can always just consult the marine specialist. But so 48 is 8 by 6, so let's get going with that. With the Marine Mania, there's no real reason to not use the cheapest fencing because it doesn't deteriorate anyway. So let's build an exhibit that is 8 by 6. That is 5. That is 6 by 8. So that doesn't look very big, but it's 48 squares, which is apparently big enough for exactly one octopus. It is going to need to be quite deep, because, you know, 8 tiles is quite deep. But that shouldn't be a problem. So, unfortunately I can't really see what I'm doing, but, wait, how the hell's that happened? Somehow I managed to end up with a tiny bit of wall there. Anyway, let's plonk him in there. We are going to need a marine specialist. So we're going to need to make the tank deeper. Why is it saying that the exhibit is not big enough? That is ridiculous. It's supposed to be 48 squares. Why is it saying it's not big enough? What? The guide literally says that it's supposed to be 48 squares, which is 8 by 6. So why is it not big enough? That doesn't make any sense at all. Have I made this too small? How on earth has that ended up being only 7 squares? That is ridiculous. Never mind. Right. Simple fix. There you go. Why is it now saying it's too shallow? Why is it still too shallow? Right, now it's fine. Right, foliage and rocks. Foliage doesn't seem to matter what you use. Rocks, we might as well just use these for the time being, because I think they're more cost effective. One problem with building marine exhibits is that because of the fact that the exhibit is sort of dug into the ground, I tend to find that I can't really see what I'm doing very well. So you keep having to sort of rotate the map to be able to actually see all the exhibit, or tank, or I guess it is an exhibit. Barnacles seem to be the cheapest. Let's just go with barnacles then. So it's not going to be the highest suitability in the world, but it's still 94, which is fine. Right, let's get some stuff going. So we'll build a lobbies restaurant over here, and charge $17 for that. I need to increase this to 29. Should have done that straight away, even whilst the game was paused, really. Can I fit in a gift shop there? I can, if I level off some of the terrain. Actually, I might not need... No, I don't need to. Right, that's perfect. Excuse me. The only thing is it might get a bit crowded on that path, but it should be fine. Just made that $10. Right, can I fit a carousel anywhere? Might as well set that to all, to be honest. I'm not going to need the compost building just yet, because Marine Mania animals don't create poo. Which is kind of annoying, actually. Because the compost building is a nice source of income. If I build a carousel there, that's right next to the entrance, so probably better to build it there. Set that to $6. Change that colours. There we go. And then here, can I actually fit anything in here? Probably not. Because 4x4, I don't think I can fit an animatronic theatre in there, can I? No. So maybe I'd have to just put in a bit of scenery, you know, like a fountain or something. Can I fit anything here? Might as well flatten that terrain, actually. Whoa, don't want that. Okay, so, like I say, I haven't played this scenario in years, so I'm basically playing it blind. I don't really know what to expect, or, you know, how difficult this is going to be. It doesn't appear like it's going to be very difficult, but then looks can be deceiving. You know, it might end up being a lot harder than it might end up being a lot easier, or it might end up being a lot harder than I might expect. Sure, we'll go with a duck pond there. And then got a path down there. And then use the low hedge fencing. I think what we'll probably end up doing is, once we've put down the original 4 exhibits, we'll probably start going with some Zoo Tycoon animals, because we don't actually need to have 10 Marine Mania exhibits, it's just any 10 species. And they don't even have to be different. You know, you could go with, like, many Bengal tiger exhibits, or many zebra exhibits, or whatever you want. Yeah, I'm going to flatten that bit of terrain, though. And hopefully now maybe I can fit in an animatronic theatre. I can. Question is, should I? Or should I go with, like... No, I can't fit the elephant ride in, that's too big. Petting zoo. Petting zoo is way too big. Animal theatre's way too big. Yeah, go on then, let's build a animatronic theatre. Although I'm probably going to have to flatten that bit of land there. That doesn't look right. I think that's still functional. It should be, because the entrance is... you know, the entrance is flat and people can... Yeah, people are going in. That's no problem. It just looks a bit odd. Whoa. Fuck's sake, I don't want that. It just looks a bit odd, but I think it is actually perfectly fine. So... Whoops. With all this sort of preliminary preparation basically done, we should probably start building the second exhibit. That might be a good idea. Then we might get some more guests and better profits going, because people might actually like the zoo a bit better they do at the moment with just one exhibit. It's not much of a zoo that only has one exhibit, and only one octopus in that exhibit, so there's not really much to do in this zoo. Whoops. Accidentally trapped the guests in the carousel, that's not good. Right, so as expected, well, those two buildings are making a profit. The restaurant would be making a profit were it not for the fact that the upkeep is quite high. The gift shop will make money eventually, if not soon. Right, let's carry on building. So, oops. So if we build a path like that, probably fit 2 exhibits over here maybe, and then maybe fit something over here if I flatten a bit of terrain or something. Oops. Yeah, just flatten this terrain around here. That's nice and easy. And then we can put a path round here. And there you go. Flatten this bit of terrain around here. And then I can fit... No, I can't fit an animal theatre in. I can fit an animal theatre though if I flatten this bit. Hopefully. No, it still doesn't fit. Fair enough. Right, we could go with a petting zoo. Yeah, let's go with petting zoo. So the zoo is going to have a bit of a weird layout, mainly because of the awkward terrain. But it shouldn't matter that much. Yeah, it shouldn't be that... Whoa. It shouldn't be that restrictive. Yeah, that actually works quite well. Can I put a building down there, like an elephant ride? No, I still can't put the elephant ride. Okay, what about a... Ooh, I don't know actually, because... Shop? No. Right, what research do we want to do? We don't want to do Zoo Tycoon research just yet. Marine Mania, we don't care about foliage or aquatic animals. We don't need tricks because we're not going to run any shows. Aquatic houses, yes. Maybe. But I think we should work on this. Right. I think for now we'll just go with putting in a bit of scenery here and there. So Dolphin Wishing Fountain can go there. And then put in a turtle fountain there. And then put an obelisk over there. Sphinx like that. Big horn like that, and ooh, dolphin statue actually, that might be quite good. Maybe build one of those later on. Yeah, let's go with the jumping fountain. Okay, and then surround all that with the low hedge fencing. Right, now it really is time to build a second exhibit. So I'm actually going to save the game as Marine Conservation. Okay. Right, we've got a... Let's go with the manta ray. which requires a only actually a 4x5 tank. That is absolutely tiny for one little manta ray. Aquatic animal antibiotics is now available. Good. Yeah, you look at that tank and you sort of think, how on earth is that big enough? But apparently it is. Yeah. The only thing is that I can't, oh, actually, it did let me build the cave. Yeah. It doesn't seem to... that's weird. It didn't... I thought the manta rays required the cave, but then when I plonked it down, it didn't seem to care, or, you know, it didn't give the smiley face, so I was a bit confused. I was thinking, does it actually need it? And I was also thinking, can I actually put it down in the first place? It's saying it wants more animals of the same type, but unfortunately I can't adopt animals, so... This is what I mean, it's very awkward to actually see the exhibit, because it's very small and it's sunken, so I keep having to rotate the map, and even then I can't really see what I'm doing. But that is a suitability of 99, which has given me the $15,000, which, you know, will come in very useful. Hopefully one marine specialist can look after both these exhibits, but I'm thinking I'm probably going to get another one. Who will then look after both of these. And also, kind of, just to be safe. Right, aquatic animal longevity is now available. That's good. Right, where's my second... or where's my other marine specialist? They're over here. Wait, why is it Marine Specialist 2 and Marine Specialist 3? We also had a Marine Specialist at some point before the scenario started, who then got sacked or removed for some reason. Excuse me. Right. Ooh, probably going to want filter on that. Yeah. Might as well get a filter on this one as well, just to be safe. Probably not strictly absolutely necessary, but we'll just do it anyway. And then the lion's mane jellyfish, that only wants 20 squares in its exhibit, but it wants a very deep tank. So we can actually put that over here, because conveniently that's 4 and that's 5. So this is the jellyfish tank. And then we can make this guy look after the manta ray and the jellyfish. We can put down a filter. Put that down there. We'll get a preliminary maintenance worker who will look after the filters. Yeah, the lion's mane jellyfish wants a very deep tank. Right, that's apparently deep enough. Okay, clam bed and rocks, and it also wants more animals, but can't do anything about that, obviously. Apparently that's too many rocks. Yeah, because it's such a small exhibit, it really wants, like, basically no rocks. I think it wanted 2 small rocks. and 2 clan beds. So yeah, it's only a 91 suitability exhibit, but it's obviously very small and very cheap. The main expense, of course, is actually just raising the height of the exhibit in the first place. Right, let's put in some signs here and there. We can put in the animal theatre, actually. And actually, could even put in the Japanese garden there. Because the Harbour Porpoise only wants a 20 exhibit, so that is absolutely tiny as well. So we can put the Japanese garden down there. Oops. I'm going to leave that as 2 squares wide. Put a bit of path down there. Put some more signs down. Yeah, guest happiness is only 75, but we also only have 75 guests actually in the zoo. Yeah, I think guest happiness will be the main issue in this scenario. You know, like the main thing that makes this difficult. I think everything else should be reasonably straightforward. Hopefully the Japanese garden will help a bit. Why are we researching this? I swear I turned that off. Okay. We don't need marine specialist training 2. So we're actually done for research for now. So let's get some animal houses going. Right, let's actually save the game as well. And then, can we put another building or something down? Bearing in mind I've still got to build a 20 exhibit, or 20 square exhibit, which is, you know, very small, but right, that's 4. Hide the building for now by 5. And this is going to be the porpoise tank. I think I'll get a 3rd specialist who will look after the octopus for now, and then he'll also have to look after one of these. Because I don't think having 1 specialist looking after these 3 exhibits is a good idea. But we can build a filter. Actually, if I... Because I've got a nice bit of 4x4 over there, but I don't think there's any buildings I can build down there, so I'm going to have to put some scenery down. So let's go to the turtle fountain, and then unhide the buildings. And we are going to need the filter, but it's going to have to go round the back here, which is unfortunately going to have to block off the path. We can put in a few more exhibit signs. Right, Tropical Aquarium's now available. I can put that down somewhere. I haven't actually decided where I want to put it, but we will have an aquarium at some point. Okay, animal happiness 95, guest happiness 77, yeah. Guest happiness will be an issue. Right, let's get these harbour porpoises going. I'm also aware that we only actually have 2 years to do everything. Tank 2 shallow, foliage and rocks, so it wants sea sponges. Which is that one, which is nice and cheap, so that's handy. At least these exhibits are very cheap because I'm building them extremely small. Great job putting these animals in suitable habitats. You now have the ability to purchase other species. Excellent. And I think both for sort of... I think the guests would actually probably prefer to see Zoo Tycoon animals, but also they're possibly cheaper. Although these Marine Mania obviously require very small exhibits, so I'm not actually sure. But anyway, that's 96 suitability. Let's put in some brick walls here and there. I'm wondering if the layout of the zoo is actually contributing to bad guest happiness, because the zoo itself isn't laid out in the most ideal way, but that's mostly because of the stupid terrain. Anyway, the other alternative is I'll just keep building marine exhibits, because then I can sort of flatten the terrain and have it how I want it. But yeah, we can basically adopt any animal we want. So, seeing as the terrain is really awkward, I think we build a marine exhibit and then sort of flatten... Oops, I don't think I actually saved there. Sort of flatten it that way. I mean, I know it's still early days, but I'm a bit... I won't say I'm struggling, but the guest happiness is starting to worry me because it is very low. But it's still early days, so we might be okay. Let's go with a marine animal for now. Horseshoe crabs of Delaware Bay is now available. Right, we can probably stop researching this for now. Until we build our first animal exhibit, it's going to be basically useless. Not animal exhibit, our first animal house. Or aquatic animal house. Right, first of all, what do we actually want to build as an exhibit? We want something that's relatively cheap, but also something that's relatively popular. Maybe like a dolphin exhibit. So if we built an exhibit for 4 dolphins, that only needs to be 8 by 10, which is actually, you know, significantly bigger than all the other exhibits that I've built so far, but comparatively still quite small. So let's do that. So that is 8 by 10. And there you go, that will be the dolphin tank. Do I need another marine specialist? I reckon... I reckon, honestly, that this guy can probably look after these 3. He can look after the octopus, and this guy will be unassigned for now. And then he will look after the dolphins. Right. Yeah, I don't really have much of a plan at the moment. I'm just sort of going how I feel is best. But like I say, I'm sort of just going into this blind because I don't really know what to expect, because I haven't done the scenario for years. How porpoise can't find any food? Well, why not? I mean, that marine specialist is assigned to the exhibit, so where's the marine specialist? There he is, in the porpoise tank. Exactly where he should be. not doing his job, though. Unfortunately, you can't reduce the salary of incompetent staff in this game. So I was just putting a bit of scenery on unused tiles just to make the zoo look a bit nicer. As always. Okay, let's get some dolphins going. And I'm going to need a filter. So I want to flatten this terrain up. No, we've got one hungry guest for some reason. I don't quite know why or how. Right, let's get these dolphins going. So, Marine Mania, dolphin, dolphin, dolphin. And then dolphins want rocks. Not that many rocks. Well, there's still quite a lot of rocks. Not that many rocks. And then they want kelp. Which is a bit more expensive, but I think we can probably afford it, because the difference is pretty negligible. And that is only 89 suitability. Too many rocks. Fuck's sake. I hate how it doesn't always sort of tell you straight away. You know, it's like I put in all these rocks, and the dolphins are like, yeah, this is fine, this is fine. And then you start deleting the rocks, and it's like, actually, there were too many rocks in the first place. Okay, that is apparently now fine. And the tank is too shallow. Still too shallow. Right, that's fine. That's 98 suitability, that's fine. We are going to need the... wait, why is there some path there? I was going to say we need a filter. So guests are flocking over. Whoops! Guests are flocking over to see the dolphins, which is good. Now you need to be assigned to the dolphins. Don't exit the exhibit. Put food down. Or do they already have food? Oh, they've already got food. Okay. We are rather low on money. Guest happiness is not very good. Animal happiness is actually 93. And then again, the dolphins aren't terribly happy. Everyone else is reasonably happy. Right, we've been given the $5,000 bonus for animal happiness of 98, although... yeah, 98 animal happiness. Zoo rating is 80. It does actually only need to be 80 anyway. Right, so we've still got 18.5 months left. But we don't have much money right now. We can probably get the emergency donation. Save the game. Right, what do we want to build as the next exhibit? Bearing in mind we're probably going to go with marine again, simply because of the silly terrain. Thinking some sort of shark, like, or maybe green sea turtle, because they're very cheap. Green sea turtle only requires 40 squares, but you need at least 2, so that would be 8 by 10. So let's go with green sea turtle. Hopefully they're reasonably popular. They should be. But that's not to say they will be. I'm going to have to flatten this, aren't I? I didn't really want to... Oops. Yeah, I didn't really want to do that. No. I don't want to do that either. Right, something like that will do for now. And then we want an 8 by 10 exhibit. Yeah, that's good. This terrain is absolutely awful, I've got to say. Really not making things easy at all. Right, so this is sea turtle tank. Which is also actually what you do if you actually go to the tank. You know, this is the tank you go to if you want a sea turtle. So I think it's quite appropriately named. Right, as hideous as that is, if it works, then it's quite optimal, because then I've got a whole load of flat land with which I can build some exhibits. The only problem is I don't think that guests can actually get from there to there. And assuming that they can't... No, I don't want to do that. Assuming they can't... For God's sake. Assuming they can't... How do I want to do this? Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking if I lower that terrain down by like 1 square, if it'll let me. No, that looks really horrible now. That looks horrible. Okay, I'm gonna have to think of something, aren't I? Because I don't think that actually works, so I'm gonna have to do something like that. Right. So that does work, it's just a bit awkward. We can get rid of that path, and then put the filter down there. Actually, maybe keep that path then. Oops, what the hell was that? Oh, fuck's sake, this is going horrible. Right. Stupid fucking... Right. There we go. Now, we want the sea turtles. The guy who's now assigned to the dolphins can be assigned to these sea turtles at the same time. And then... we're going to need to build the exhibit for the sea turtles. They want sargassum and rocks. The exhibit is actually apparently deep enough, so that's nice. Yeah, remember when I said this scenario was going to be quite straightforward? Yeah, I don't think it's actually going to be straightforward anymore. I'm very low on money, although I can probably get the emergency donation of $10,000 soon. But I still need to build another 4 exhibits with extremely awkward terrain. And I'm not even sure what's working and what isn't. And I need to get 90 guest happiness somehow. I don't actually have the animal theatre yet, or the, well, animal houses. We can build those now, I suppose. We're going to have to flatten this terrain, or level it up. Dolphin 4 has given birth, that's nice. Right, we can possibly build an animal theatre here. No, it doesn't fit, okay. What crustacean house? That doesn't fit either. Oh! It does fit. There was a tiny bit of rock there. But I can't build the animal theatre, but I can build the crustacean house and the aquarium next to each other like that. And then we get an emergency donation of $10,000, that's very nice. And I can build a bit of path that then leads over here. Destroy this bit of brick wall, and there you go! Makes the zoo a bit more functioning. Let's hold out on building that brick wall just yet. If I flatten this up, I could probably actually build the animal theatre here, but I don't know if I'm going to have the money for it. Whoa, that looks horrible. Okay, hang on. Don't think this is going to work in any case. But it might. Okay. Now, how big is the animal theatre? I think that might be big enough. If I destroy this brick wall. No. Don't want that. Whatever it was offering me, I don't want it. Ah, okay, I need to make it one square more this way. Whoa. Right, that should work now. That brick wall does look silly. Like that. But there you go, I can build the animal theatre there. And charge $7 for it. Right, these crustacean house and tropical aquarium are quite popular. Let's get some better exhibits going on in there, which was going to cost more money on research. Guest habitat is now 84. Yeah, the zoo is starting to look a bit better now. It's still not exactly an ideal setup. You know, you still have to sort of find your way through. Go up and down some pretty awkward pathing. I don't think guests can go up and down there because I think that's too steep for them. Or too much of a drop, really. Also, I need a bit of path going like that. There we go. Because that path wasn't actually blocked off. Which is fine for staff members, but not good for the guests. I need to basically lower this by like 1. Yeah, that's better. Adjust the base, just so it's the same level as here, and then adjust the entrances to these exhibits. Can't put that down there for some reason. Is there a rock or something in the way? Put it down there. And there. Right, so then the marine specialist... Oh no, that doesn't work at all. Why did it let me do that? Because that's just in the way of the filter. Right, so then the marine specialist only has to go from there to get to his... or her... to get to there, designated exhibits. Did that person just get out a map? Or a newspaper or something? It has occurred to me that I haven't actually got any maps. I haven't got any tour guides, but that's fine. But we can build some zoo maps. I think all they do is basically just provide a bit of guest happiness and a bit of scenery. But they might actually, if they're really clever, they might tell guests where to go and therefore mean that guests become happier overall because they're not just wandering the zoo aimlessly, rather they're going to exhibits they actually want to go and see. Right. Change that to that, change that to that. Yeah, that's a pretty big boost. Okay, so both of these are actually really popular. The Animal Theatre is not making any money, and I'm thinking I know why. Yeah. Okay. That's annoying, but I know why. I think it's because the entrance was on a slope, so the guests can't actually get into the Animal Theatre. So I'm going to have to do it quite awkwardly. But that's the only reason I can think that nobody went to the Animal Theatre. Because they basically can't. Okay, that looks stupid. But then again, that doesn't exactly look great either, so... Right. So I've got quite a bit of flat terrain here. So if I build the Animal Theatre like that, now people should actually start to use it. What do I want to do with this bit of zoo? Not sure really. So obviously I can't build any buildings or exhibits or anything, so I guess just maybe build a bit of scenery here. Whoops. Right, now people are using the Animal Theatre. It'll probably take a while to make money, but at least people are actually using it. Right, guest happiness is now up to 86, but it does need to be at least 90 for the scenario to be okay. We could probably increase the admission price to 49, but I'll leave it at 29 for now. Because I do want people to actually come into the zoo. We're getting about 50 guests per month, which is good, but I don't think it's good enough to warrant making $49 admission price. Not just yet, anyway. We can change that over. Right. We don't have money, which is not good. Well, we've got $2,000. Which is not enough to really do anything right now. Are there any other buildings I can build that would make money? I could build the elephant ride, actually. Or build like another restaurant. Don't know if the elephant ride's necessarily needed, but I can build it anyway, I suppose. Build it here. What was that message that just came up? Zoo running low on money. Yeah, I know. You don't have to tell me twice, I can see it right there. Right, and then just build some scenery here and there. Like I keep saying, this zoo has a bit of a weird layout, but I'm just going to have to kind of deal with that. I mean, I can build another exhibit over here, and that will sort of flatten out this lake. Oops. I am sort of running out of space, but at the same time I only have to build another, what, 4 exhibits? Yeah. So I can easily fit 4 exhibits in this space. It's just the zoo doesn't exactly have a very good layout. The animal theatre is making a small profit, which is nice. People are going to the animal houses, which is nice, although they are costing me money and not making any money in the process. The Japanese garden is obviously attracting guests, which is nice. Animatronic theatre is making a small profit. Restaurant making a big profit, obviously. I could probably increase that to $18. Because, let's face it, if you're a guest at this zoo and you want to eat or go to the toilet or get a drink or have a rest, you have to go to the restaurant. The gift shop is making a profit as well, so I haven't actually checked finances, but yeah, for August, if you ignore research and construction, we're probably making about $7,000 a month in profit, which is quite nice. We only have 8 benefactors. A few people have gone to see the elephant ride, although the upkeep is hit, so therefore it's not making any money. But it probably will do overall. I'm going to save the game again. Yeah, so we still have 1 year and 4 months left, which is 16 months, to build 4 exhibits. Increase the zoo value to over 200,000, which is currently $83,000 less than that. And we also need to have a guest happiness of above 90, which might not be an issue once we have more exhibits and more things for guests to do. I mean, it's currently at 87, which is obviously less than 90. But as long as it doesn't suddenly start dropping, we should be okay. And the thing is on this flat terrain, I can actually probably build something like a Bengal tiger exhibit, which would be quite cheap to build because there's quite a lot of rainforest here anyway, and it is nice and flat. But I think for this lake, I'm probably going to build some kind of marine exhibit. I mean, if I built 2 orcas, for example, that would be quite expensive, but orcas are very popular. Unfortunately, it would have to be 180 squares big. Alternatively, I could build something like hammerhead sharks or tiger sharks. Not the whale shark. Atlantic swordfish. Could even build bluefin tuna. Not the giant squid. Manatee. Yeah, there's quite a lot of choices. But I think I want to build... I was going to say a Zoo Tycoon exhibit, but it probably makes more sense to build 2, because if I need a zookeeper, then having 1 zookeeper for 1 exhibit is not really very ideal. I'm better having 1 zookeeper for 2 exhibits. Guess I was just dropped to 86. I'm wondering at what point do I raise the admission price from 29 to 49. I probably could get away with doing that. soon. Right, the animal theatre is making good profit. It's only $25 a month to upkeep. That's really cheap. Because the elephant ride is $50 a month in upkeep, and it doesn't make anywhere near the profit. So the animal theatre seems a bit broken in that regard. I don't understand why the upkeep isn't a constant. Because, like, why is the gift shop upkeep $177 a month? Why is it $311 for the restaurant? I don't really understand that. Right, we don't really have enough money to actually start building an exhibit. Probably make more sense while we're not making much money to build the marine exhibit first. But then we're going to need to build a marine specialist anyway. Unless, actually, I could probably have one marine specialist looking after these two exhibits, and then one looking after the manta ray, and then whatever I decide to build over here. That would work, probably, because it wouldn't be far to travel. And I think looking after 3 exhibits, even though they're very small, is probably not a good idea for one marine specialist to do. I just hope that when October rolls around, I still actually have money, even after paying the wages and the upkeep. Right, that tank filter needs servicing. So where's Mr. Maintenance Worker? There he is. Right. Are there any other filters that look a bit suboptimal? Doesn't look like it. Right, October rolled around and I've basically still got money, so I think I'm going to build a marine exhibit over here. And let's go with... Hammerhead sharks are cheaper than tiger sharks. Hammerhead sharks require... well, if you want 4 hammerheads, you could get away with 2, and therefore it would only need to be 8 by 5. Tiger sharks, on the other hand, are the same, but you can get away with 2, although they require a deeper tank. So I think, considering they're cheaper, we will go with hammerhead sharks. I'm going to save the game. So we want an 8 by 5 exhibit for 2 hammerhead sharks. So this is hammerhead tank. For all my talk of Zoo Tycoon animals, I might actually end up not building any. Unless I just make the last 2 exhibits the Zoo Tycoon animals. That probably actually works out quite well, because then I can have 4 marine specialists and one zookeeper. Right. This fencing is a bit of a... well, this pathing is a bit of a mess, but I can fix this. That elephant ride is actually making decent money. Right. Just the base, like that. Just makes it... one more. There we go. Right. And then... move the thing over there. Right, I'm probably not going to have enough money to build this exhibit up properly. But let's just go with 1 hammerhead for now. We can get a second when this guy is happy. So he wants seagrass and some rocks. Might not be that expensive to build, because the exhibit is very small at least. And we are making some money, so... yeah, once we get 1250 we can get a second hammerhead. Which shouldn't take long, he says. Right, there we go. So that is 2 hammerheads and 93 suitability tank. Not the best, but obviously it's good enough for the scenario. Right. So now, this zookeeper is assigned to the octopus... wait. How many tanks do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I have 7 exhibits. I think it confused me because it was tank 8. But that's obviously because I had to build a tank and then destroy it, so... because one tank wasn't big enough, the octopus tank thing. So, you can stay as just the octopus for now. You can look after the jellyfish and the porpoise. Dolphin, sea turtle, that's fine. And then I'm going to need another one. Another marine specialist, good thing I've got enough money, to look after the manta ray and the hammerheads. Right. So I'm going to need another marine exhibit, and then 2 Zoo Tycoon exhibits, or just, you know, forego the Zoo Tycoon exhibits and build 3 more marine exhibits. Yeah, so the zoo value is $127,000, so we still need another $73,000. Money is a slight issue. Hopefully it won't be, you know, once we get closer to the end of the scenario. Because obviously I'm spending a lot of money on construction and, you know, just generally building things. That looks daft, I actually don't like that. That looks better. Right. So, it's a bit hilly, but the zoo is starting to make a bit more sense. I mean, ignore that, that's just a giant cliff to nowhere, really. This path also doesn't actually really lead anywhere. But I don't know what to do with it, to be honest. Yeah, it's a bit ugly around there, but, okay, guest happiness 88. I think... is now the time to increase the admission price to 49? I don't know. I think the only goal that will be a massive... well, I think the only goal that will be a problem will be the guest happiness of 90. Because the zoo value... we only need another 70,000. And the suitability rating of 90 for 10 exhibits. Basically, you know, as long as we can build 10 exhibits in the next 14 months, It's apparently Halloween. Might need another maintenance worker. Depends if these filters are getting maintained efficiently and quickly enough. Probably actually okay with just the one. He seems to be doing a really good job of just keeping them all maintained. Because there's no dirty tanks, and as far as I can tell, there's no filters that are broken or in need of repair. Well, I guess it's now 89, so that's good. I just realised that I never built hedge fencing around these buildings. It's probably a very, very negligible difference, but it's worth doing. Even if it only increases guest happiness by 1 point, it's worth doing. Right. Block the entrance by doing that. Right, I'm now basically completely out of money. But we've got guest happiness 89, 2 hungry guests. I bet there's like some viewer watching this video right now screaming at me saying, increase the admission price to $49. But I don't want to do that and then not have many guests coming into the zoo. I don't know. To me it seems like a risk to increase the admission price to $49 at the moment. It doesn't feel right somehow. I think if I build another exhibit here, that would work really well, because then the marine specialist that's looking after the manta ray and the hammerheads can look after the manta ray and whatever I build here. I'm thinking tiger shark, to be honest. Even though they are, you know, quite pricey. And then, I don't know, I kind of do want Zoo Tycoon animals, and I kind of don't at the same time, because I haven't done any research for them, so I'd have to do like animal care and, you know, I'd have to get zookeeper training. Well, not necessarily, but it would be beneficial. I might actually just stick with Marine Mania exhibits, because the guests seem perfectly happy to just see marine animals. It's a shame that this exhibit is where it is, to be honest, because it's quite far away from everything else. So I might end up having to have 6 marine specialists looking after 10 exhibits. Anyway, I think apart from guest happiness, this scenario is actually quite straightforward now. It's become a lot easier these last few months, now that the zoo's starting to make a bit more sense. I still feel like there's some building I can build that would make sense to build. But looking at it, I've got the restaurant, well, Lobby's restaurant, Japanese garden. I mean, I could build like another restaurant, yeah. Crustacean house, don't need the compost building. Animal theatre, elephant ride, tropical aquarium, carousel, petting zoo. Yeah, the only thing that I might need would be like the shark tunnel, but they don't do well when I build them. They might make like a very small profit, but not huge profit. Right, well, assuming that I still have some money when December rolls round, I could build, or start building the tiger shark exhibit. And yeah, for 2 tiger sharks, I can get away with a 8x5 exhibit, which is the same size as the hammerheads. So that's really good. Although I will need another marine specialist. Right, so I've got a tiny bit of money. So let's... What the hell just happened there? I don't know. Did I actually do anything? I don't want to undo because I don't know what I did. I don't think I actually did anything. Right. Let's just destroy this brick wall. I can always build it back. That's no problem. And then... Hang on. And then... This will be tiger shark tank. Alright. And I'm going to need another marine specialist who will look after the hammerheads and the hammerheads only, which means that this guy, instead of looking after the hammerheads, is going to look after the tiger sharks and the manta rays. Okay, so tiger shark. It wants feather duster worm and rock. And it doesn't look like I have... Ah, there it is. I was about to say it doesn't look like I actually have the feather duster worm, but then it's literally right there. And the tank is too shallow. That's not a problem. The tank is way too shallow. Right, that's apparently fine. So that is 96 suitability. I am basically out of money. Although I do want another female tiger shark. Tiger shark is not happy for some reason, probably because the tank was too shallow. Hopefully he'll become happier. If he doesn't become happy, then I'll just sell him off and buy a new one. Unfortunately, I wouldn't get much money for selling them off. Getting quite a lot of hungry guests, so I might actually build a restaurant over here. And then that way I've got a restaurant over here and a restaurant over here. And that encourages guests to go over here. And it also gives me a sort of excuse to flatten a bit of terrain. Right, this shark is becoming a bit happier, but he's still unhappy for some reason. And now he's become unhappy again. Is the tank actually... I'm wondering... I don't know. I'm wondering if the tank is actually not deep enough, but... I might actually just sell him off and buy a new one. That'd be quicker and easier. Because I don't want a really miserable shark just ruining everything. You know, because if guests see miserable animals, they become miserable themselves, and it just doesn't go down well. Okay, so this guy is looking after the hammerheads. This guy's going to look after the hammerheads and the tiger sharks. Right, so both of these tiger sharks are actually happy. So, zero rating is still only 85, but we only actually have, like, 8 exhibits. A hammerhead has given birth, that's fine. 99 animal happiness is really good, although it's just dropped to 97 for some reason. And it's Christmas Day in the game. Not real life, although it is nearly Christmas in real life. Yeah, for some reason the animal happiness has just dropped. Yeah, there's not enough. The dolphin exhibit is too small for the amount of dolphins that we have. That can be resolved. Sea turtles are fine, hammerhead sharks are fine. Tiger sharks are now both fine. And we only have one porpoise who wants another one, but he is actually also really happy anyway. Same with the jellyfish, same with the manta ray. And the octopus actually doesn't care, but he's saying that there's too many rocks in his exhibit. But when I destroy one, that doesn't make any sense. I destroy the small one, he complains. I destroy the big one, he's fine. Now the exhibit is well suited, apparently. So, I don't understand that at all. But yeah, I'm getting quite a few hungry guests, so I think if we build a restaurant over here, that would be good. And also it'll make us more money. And it will attract guests over to this area anyway. Don't want that. So Dolphin 4 can't find any food for some reason. Right, there's the restaurant. Can't really see what I'm doing. Build path like that. Get rid of this brick wall. And straight away people have started to use it. Let's charge $18 for it, which I realise is quite expensive, but oh well, what are you going to do? I mean, guests are using it, so yeah. And that should increase the guest happiness, which it did, to 90, because we should get a few less hungry guests. I think now we probably increase the admission price to $49. There we go. Right. Okay, so let's get another maintenance worker actually, because I think this one maintenance worker probably can't take care of the entire zoo. Okay, so we have 8 tanks. Right, 8 tanks with 5 marine specialists, which I realise is, you know, suboptimal. We're going to need 6 when the scenario finishes. We can build a tank. Well, we can build probably 2 tanks over here. Or, you know, just somewhere around here. Okay, we still need another sort of 50,000 or so in zoo value, but that shouldn't be an issue. We are halfway, we have 1 year left, and we actually do have a bit of cash money right now. So let's build the final 2 tanks. So we could actually build a mermaid tank. That could be kind of cool. You get mermaids by putting a mermaid statue in a tank, which costs $2,000. Mermaids are actually really attractive to guests. The only downside is that you have to have female mermaids, so you can't get baby mermaids. But the thing is that you can just adopt more mermaids, so you're never going to run out. It's just that they're all female. So we could go with mermaids. That could be a fun little final exhibit. Green moray eels. I think they breed like crazy in this game for some reason. Swordfish, maybe. Right, let's just check. Green moray eels. If you build an exhibit with 4 of them, you can get an 8x5 exhibit, and they are reasonably attractive to guests. If you build an Atlantic swordfish exhibit, then you could build 8x5, and they're also reasonably attractive to guests. Beluga are extremely attractive to guests, but I would have to build a 8x10 exhibit. So let's go with some Atlantic swordfish for now. That's not right. Where the hell's the Atlantic swordfish? I had it earlier. There he is. And build it as 8x10. Sorry, 8x5 rather. And this is the swordfish tank. And then, the guy that's looking after the hammerheads and the hammerheads only, move him into the hammerhead tank. He can then look after these 2 swordfish. Oh. Okay, the tank is still too shallow. Apparently, no, it's fine. So he, or the swordfish, want red gorgonian, which we do have. Red gorgonian and rocks, obviously. And there you go, that is a very simple 95 suitability exhibit for 2 swordfish. That was very easy. Guess having it on 93, that is actually really high and really good, because obviously I need it above 90. Right. So you, there, look after these hammerheads and the swordfish. And then, if I level this terrain, I can probably put something down here. Like a building of some sort. I mean, maybe another restaurant. I don't think I really need one. This is the problem, is that I have the space to put a restaurant, or to put down some kind of building, but I don't really need anything. So maybe just build another exhibit here. Hang on a second. The hammerheads and the swordfish. Yeah. Sorry, I had a blank moment there. I was thinking, how do I want my marine specialists? But it's fine. Right. The last exhibit, I don't know what I want to build. To be quite honest. What about manatees? Are they reasonably easy to build an exhibit for? Yeah, I can build a 8x5 exhibit, and that would be big enough for 2 manatees. So let's do that then. Hold on. So this is the manatee tank. And I'm going to need another maintenance, another marine specialist. And the tank filter can go there. Build a bit of path over here. Technically that's not necessary. That's necessary though. And then we just need to get some manatees. Seagrass and rocks. And I've also been awarded the diverse species for having 10 species award. And as always, it doesn't come with any money. Although I don't actually need money right now, because I kind of have enough to do everything that I want to do, which is not actually that much. How's that too many rocks, for God's sake? This game is flawed. Highest quality exhibit silver for having 10 exhibits with 80 suitability or more. Again, doesn't come with any money. I'm wondering if getting awards actually increases the zoo rating, because if it doesn't, then other than the money value, or like extra cash, I don't know what awards really do. So they must do something. Right, you be assigned to the manatees. So we still need a zoo value of 200,000. Which we're $35,000 away from. There's two things I can do about that. One is to build more exhibits, which is more interesting than option 2, which is to basically just sit back and let the money pile in, whilst simultaneously hoping that guest happiness and all the other goals stay met. So I think for the sake of interestingness, I will actually build a couple more exhibits and a couple more buildings, etc. Seeing as I've got a bit of excess space. Right, as expected, that restaurant is making a massive profit. Over $4,500 a month. It's actually making more profit per month than the Lobby's restaurant. Japanese Garden is getting a lot of visitors, as expected. Yeah, I think everything's fine. I'll just check to make sure that these exhibits aren't overcrowded or anything like that. It shouldn't be. No, they're not. That's a weird noise. I think that's the manatee. Yeah, we've got 10 exhibits, and we just need another 31,000 in zoo value. And we're making nice profit now. Yeah, when this scenario started, I thought actually this might be quite difficult because the guest happiness just wasn't increasing, and also I thought this is actually a really small map with very difficult terrain, and I thought, how on earth am I going to do this? But in actuality, it's not turned out to be that difficult. And we've also got guest happiness 95, which has given us an extra $25,000, with which I can build more exhibits. So I might actually end up building an orca exhibit. Although it will need to be 18 by 10, which is pretty bloody massive. So maybe I won't do that, or maybe I will. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. How do I want to do this, actually? Don't know about that path, actually. That's... yeah. I mean, it sort of works, but I don't like it just at the moment. I think build an exhibit of some kind. I mean, I could even go wild and build like a sperm whale exhibit, but I think there has to be about, 200 squares just for one. Oh, yeah, 130 squares for one sperm whale. I could afford it, although it would cost me like basically all my money, and it's also debatable how popular a sperm whale is. But it could be kind of fun. Yeah, I guess I'll build a sperm whale tank. And then the guy looking after the manatee can look after the manatee and the sperm whale. So 13 by 10, I think that's said. Yeah, because we only want one. We're not going to build an exhibit for 2 sperm whale. That's too much space and too big, too expensive. That's 12. That's 13 by 10. Right, so this is sperm whale tank. It's going to need to be a bit deeper probably, but for now it will do. Just preliminary. As always, we want to put in a few signs, which is something I've not been doing. That tank needs a clean, which is... right, that needs a filter. Okay, that tank is fine, that tank's fine. Yeah, it's just that one for some reason didn't have a filter. Let's get another maintenance worker just in case. Right, so let us build a sperm whale tank. So he wants stovepipe sponge and lots of rocks probably. Seeing as this exhibit is pretty big. Stovepipe sponge is... yep. And obviously the tank is too shallow. Yeah, it needs to be pretty deep. Okay, that's apparently fine. That's 91 suitability. Notice that we only need a suitability of 90 for 10 exhibits. We don't need a suitability of 90 for every single exhibit. But obviously it's always worthwhile to have the highest suitability you can, just in case for some reason suitability decided to drop. Right, that is 100 suitability. That's brilliant. Manatee Man Gonna look after... Actually, how do I want to do this? Hammerhead and Swordfish. You look after the Hammerhead and the Manatee. And then Manatee Man, you look after these two instead. So, temporary reassignments. So, well, not temporary reassignments, but strategic reassignments. And then move the exhibit's entrances. And there you go. Yeah, Sperm Whale's not very happy, but I guess he'll become happier in time. He's probably just unhappy because his tank was too deep at the time, and not very suitable for him. But if he continues to be miserable, then I'll sell him off and get a new one and do what I did with the Tiger Shark. So I think every marine specialist is now assigned to 2 different tanks, except for the one that's only assigned to the octopus. Which is a bit unfortunate, but it's just basically because, you know, that's how the zoo was sort of designed. Just lower this base a bit, so the specialist doesn't have to climb so high up to actually get in and out of the tank. Could build a restaurant or something over here, actually, because there's quite a lot of guests and exhibits over here. Yeah, let's go for that. Let's go for a rainforest restaurant. As always, we charge $18. Very expensive restaurants in this zoo, but oh well. Right, let's put in a turtle fountain there, and a duck pond over here. Actually, not another duck pond. Another duck pond it is. And then just surround everything, as always, with low hedge fencing. Make it look nice and pretty. So those stats are looking really good. We still have, you know, about 8.5 months left. As expected, people are using the restaurant. I mean, it's not actually the biggest zoo in the world, obviously, because we only have 11 exhibits and, you know, not a very big map. But it's certainly successful and profitable. Guests really like it, even with the strange layout. So I guess with the right setup, marine zoos are actually very profitable and very successful. I'm actually going to lower the base on that. Oh wait, no. Did I have that like that for a reason? I don't know. That looks weird to me. I feel like it should be lower, but... yeah. Like that. That looks better. And then the same with this one. Yeah, that looks better, I think. So just actually check my tanks, just to make sure there's like no overcrowding going on. So the dolphins are fine. Right, he's saying there's too many rocks. Now he wants more rocks. So there were too many with a large, but obviously deleting the large means that there's not enough, so... Right, the sperm whale is now happy, so I don't need to sell him off and get a new one. Animal happiness is 98, guest happiness is actually 96, zoo rating 88. Zoo value is actually almost 200,000. So, yeah, we've got like 8 months left and not really much to do, to be honest. Save the game. Yeah, I think basically all we've got to do now is just keep the zoo value above 200,000, which shouldn't be difficult. I could build another exhibit, but I would need another marine specialist. And I only have $10,000. I might do it before the scenario ends, but maybe not right now. It's also a question of where do I want to place it? You know, how do I want to build it? I suppose I can build path down like that, can I? No, I can't. 6 months left to complete the scenario. No, there aren't. There's 8 months. I don't know why it does that. It's a very strange bug of some kind. Where the game just seemingly cannot do maths correctly. Wow, those manatees make some weird noises. I don't know how realistic that is, but it's interesting. Yeah, just putting a bit more scenery, make the zoo look a bit nicer. Fountains and things like that. Hang on. Yeah. This is a bit awkward now. This does feel a bit like, you know, sort of MCS show. You know, it's like going up the stairs, going down the stairs. The never-ending staircase. I'm also not really sure what I actually want to do here, because I've kind of got this bit of space and not really anything that I want to use it for. So I might actually just level this terrain back. No, not like that. Yeah, just have something like that. And then, just put in a few fountains. There we go, just something like that, I don't know. That seems okay to me. It looks a bit daft, but I think it'll do. Oh yeah, I wanted to actually destroy that brick wall there. Right, that's what I wanted actually. That's perfect. And then I can put... No, that doesn't work. Got a map there and some signs over here. And there you go, that's basically what I wanted. I just wanted like a double path down there so that you can get from this part of the zoo to over here just a bit easier. It just makes, you know, the zoo possibly a bit more accessible and gives guests more ways to get around. Saying that, I'm going to need a bit of brick wall around here. Right, that should be all good. And then more brick wall just around here. Right, so I think, yeah, we've actually completed the objectives. We still have 7 months to go. I could build another exhibit, and I probably will, just to keep passing the time, to be honest. Yeah, it's a bit daft around here, but, you know, given the limitations of what I'm dealing with, I think it looks alright. If I built another exhibit, I don't know what I would build. That's the problem. And I would need another maintenance worker. I would need another marine specialist. Actually, I need another maintenance worker anyway, because that tank needs repairing. That sperm whale jumping out the tank looks very impressive, actually. I like when animals do little things like that. You know, it's like a gorilla beating his chest or something, or, you know, an elephant playing with a swinging log toy or something. It's just little things like that that make this game better. I think they're really nice. Most people don't really notice them, probably not. Definitely want to lower the base on that, because that looks pretty ridiculous. And I actually probably want to move the exhibit's entrances, because that's probably really awkward. So, hold up. Dolphins and sea turtles, that's fine. Octopus, that's fine. Jellyfish and porpoise, can make that a tiny bit more convenient by doing something like that. Or actually, I could even have it like that. There you go, that's literally right next to each other. Excuse me. Right. Right, we've got the most popular zoo 500 guest milestone award, which is really good actually, because we've got 502 guests with a guest happiness average of 95 and no problematic guests there. We've got 30 benefactors, which is good. It's not as many as I'd like, obviously, but it's still good. And a zoo rating of 87, which, you know, that's fine. Considering we've not actually done that much research, we've only actually researched marine specialist training, aquatic animal care, and aquatic animal houses. If you look at the things we've actually researched, it's not actually that many. And we only have 11 exhibits, so 87 zoo rating is fine. But guest happiness 95 and animal happiness 97, that's really good. Let's save the game once again. So we're coming up to the 2-hour mark. I think when July rolls around, I will probably end the video, and then part 2 will be a lot shorter, because it will just be, you know, the final 6 months. Maybe I'll build another exhibit. Literally just waiting for the scenario to end. Definitely want to lower the base on that one. I don't know why that's so high up, to be honest. And yeah, lower the base on that. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That actually wants raising a notch. Tiger shark. That's fine. Swordfish is fine. Manatee, that wants raising a notch. And the sperm whale is fine. Yeah. Okay. So it's not actually quite July yet, but I'm going to save the game and I'm going to end the video. So I'm going to say thank you so much for watching. Leave a like, share, comment, subscribe. And I hope you've enjoyed this video. I will see you in the next one. I don't know when part 2 will be recorded or come out, but yeah. In the meantime, take care, folks. Have a nice day. See you all. Bye.